What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Stars and Scrubs podcast here, powered by Sharp Sports Network. I'm your host, Joe Biewer, with Swole Man Walker on the other side of the camera here. Episode 6 is going to be a sick podcast here. I put a poll up on Twitter earlier regarding some MLB players that we're going to talk about. I thought it was a super interesting topic to talk about, as well as we do have some MLB trivia. We're going to be putting Walker to the test at the end of this to see how much of an idiot he is. Or if he's smart with his MLB knowledge. Let's jump into this without further ado. Poll up on Twitter right here on the screen right now. I posted. Follow me as well, J Biewer DFS. Anyways, just a quick plug. But before we record our next podcast, I would like to take a poll. Which one of these young guns is going to have the best fantasy year this year? I had Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr., Fernando Tatis, and Yordan Alvarez. I want to talk about this as well, go player by player, based on what we saw last year, kind of the little glimpse. I know Vlad Jr. didn't play too much, but let's start with my personal pick and favorite of the poll, Fernando Tatis Jr. 2019 had 334 at-bats, 106 hits, 22 home runs with a .317 batting average with a .590 slugging percentage. Absolute monster year, in my opinion, for Fernando Tatis. It's pretty interesting for me being on the Padres, putting up some big numbers there. I was really surprised with his performance. I think this is going to be an incredible year for him. I think this is a bounce-back year, or not even a bounce-back year. It's just a continuation of a great rookie season. I think this is going to be one of the biggest rising stars, somewhat of a Pete Alonso year upcoming for Fernando Tatis that I see. What do you think?
You just broke up for me, Joe. Are you still talking?
Yeah, what do you think of Fernando Tatis this year? I said it was going to be somewhat of a of a Pete Alonso year for him.
I was also in the 40.6% of people in your poll that did vote for him. No, I think I don't think a sophomore slump's going to be a thing with Fernando Tatis at all. I'm excited to see him play again. Obviously, kind of I wouldn't say one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen, but definitely a really strong start to a really, really young player's probably great career that he has ahead of him. So I'm definitely on your side with that one. I don't think we see any sort of a sophomore slump out of him at all this year. I think he's probably going to have a better season this year than he did last season and just continue to improve as he ages and matures.
I'm hoping that he can actually carry the Padres to somewhat of a playoff run because the young talent is evident alone. He was priced very high the entire year last year when he kind of hit his hot streak. So I'm definitely looking for him to have a big year. What was really surprising to me, though, is that the poll didn't reflect either Yordan Alvarez or Bo Bichette being very close to Fernando Tatis. I think let's talk about Bo Bichette real quick. I think this is a great year he's going to have coming up. He only had 196 at-bats, didn't play for the first half of the season, 61 hits, 11 home runs with a .311 batting average. He came in and just kind of tore it up. I think this is something that we're going to see him do a lot. In college, he was absolutely incredible. Like I said, didn't get to really play for half the season, got called up when the Blue Jays were pretty much out of the race for everything. So how much Bo Bichette did you watch last year? He's an incredible ball player as far as fielding and hitting. Kind of where are you at as far as Bo Bichette?
I'm kind of, again, in agreement. I thought it was kind of weird to see Vlad picking up second place in the poll. I know it was only 32 votes. It wasn't like we had a super big sample size on it, but I'm kind of with you in terms of, especially with him being last out of the four, I thought was kind of interesting. And I know the poll was more about who's going to have the best fantasy year. I just think it's very odd to see him bringing up the rear, fourth place in the poll. Again, I know it's not a big sample size, but for me, he would be right behind Tatis in terms of who I think is liable to have a breakout fantasy year this year.
Yeah.
Definitely somebody that I'm pretty high on. And again, I just find I don't mind him maybe bringing up third behind Yordan Alvarez, but I don't know. The Vlad thing being in second is just kind of odd to me.
Yeah, I think here's my hot take for the season. I think the Blue Jays make the playoffs pretty easily. Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette are going to kind of lead the rookies this year. I have a feeling Vlad's going to be a home run machine. But they in the offseason signed Hyunjin Ryu from the Dodgers, who is an absolute monster on the mound, and Tanner Roark from the A's. So I think this is going to be a great season for the Jays as they really just rounded out their bullpen and are developing these two rookies that we are currently talking about. So let's just talk about the other Blue Jays rookie here, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Everybody was all over him last year. Very high on him. Was not very priced too high. He had a lot of hitting troubles last year. He's just a big power guy who doesn't have that eye for pitches yet. Loves fastballs, but can't really take two. He's not really good at pitch selection yet. From what I've seen, he had a 272 batting average with 126 hits and only 15 homers. Not too big of a slugging percentage either at 464 at bats. So it's not too bad of a season. He's super young. I think this is going to be a big bounce back because I think the rookie season that he had was actually a little poor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a little bit under where I would have expected it to be, and I think it's similar to Tatis. I think it's going to be an improvement year for him. Granted, Tatis has a little bit less room for improvement compared to Vlad Guerrero. I do think it's definitely a step up year from his 2019 season.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that the Blue Jays develop him in the right way because he's got some big shoes to fill from his dad. I think this is going to be an interesting year for the Jays, Blue Jays with Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero. But the person that I'm super pumped to talk about, Yordan Alvarez. On the Astros, with everything that's going on with the Astros right now, I think that Alvarez got a little overlooked. He played a ton last year. He was super expensive, lefty monster, 98 hits, 27 bombs, 313 batting average, just 655 slugging percentage, a 1.067 OPS percentage. Is just an incredible season that I don't think is getting a lot of credit. I think Yordan Alvarez is going to do the exact same, if not more, last year, and actually give Fernando Tatis a run for his money on arguably the best second season out of those four people. I think Yordan Alvarez is going to have just an incredible year. It just kind of sucks that he's on a team filled with some other powerhouse hitters where he kind of gets overlooked. Fernando Tatis is going to be kind of leading the way and paving the way for his own team.
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez, I mean, when you think, I mean, he played roughly 40 games less, 35 to 40 games less than Vlad Guerrero did. And obviously he's going to have a few less hits there, but I mean, he's got 12 more deep bombs, and that's kind of exciting to see. Somebody that can really just jack the ball. Obviously, we all like watching players, especially from a fantasy perspective, that are always going to have that deep ball upside. And I'm definitely, like I said at the start, I'm pretty high on him. I think, in my opinion, he should have been, not in the third place, whatever, in the poll that he is in. I definitely like Yordan Alvarez a lot this year too.
Yeah, where was he at? So yeah, he was third place.
Pretty much tied for last
on the screen. It kind of was interesting to me. I think a lot of people are riding the hype on Vlad Guerrero, which is interesting enough in itself, just because everybody likes to chase the deep balls. The home run derby was kind of a big thing for Guerrero last year, almost winning it against Pete Alonso. So for me, I think that there's just a lot of hype around him, and I think a lot of these other guys like Tatis and Alvarez are kind of getting overlooked a little bit. And I think this year is going to stun a lot of people. Like I said, I think Tatis makes a top 5 in home runs this year, or Alvarez. One of those two are my hot takes, because to be honest, I don't think Vlad Guerrero's overrated, but as of now, seeing him play last year, just overall fielding and being able to hit and contact the ball, he's just a pure power hitter. It reminds me a lot of David Ortiz, who's just very homer reliant. I think that's just kind of what it's going to be. It kind of reminds me as well of Aaron Judge having hitting woes, where it was either a bomb or a strikeout. And his strikeout percentage, Guerrero had the highest strikeout percentage among all rookies last year.
Yeah, I feel you. Kind of a streaky player.
Yeah, for sure. So at the end of this, I agree with the poll of Fernando Tatis being number 1. I thought that was super interesting, something to talk about. Let's do something a little bit more fun and interesting. We're going to put Walker to the test here. MLB.com put out a trivia quiz this morning, and we are going to put Walker to the test here. We are going to put it up on the screen right above our heads. It might cover some of our faces, but no worries. You might not miss seeing our faces. But this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to ask you a question, give you 4 possible answers. Take your pick, and we'll see what your quiz is, or your answer total is at the end. Ready?
I'm ready, bro. I got Google open. Let's go.
All right. Number 1. Whose nickname is the Polar Bear? Cody Bellinger, Pete Alonso, Chris Davis, or Trevor Story?
Bro, I have never heard that in my life.
Who is the Polar Bear?
I've never heard that
You
one.
want me to lay down the options again?
It was Bellinger, Alonso, Story, and who?
Chris Davis.
What'd you say? Sorry, you broke up for me.
Chris Davis.
I'll take a stab and say it's Trevor Story, but I don't think.
Okay, it's not Trevor Story. So
Eliminate one other one. Give me a 50-50.
I'll eliminate Chris Davis.
Eliminate who?
Chris Davis.
Well, now I'm gonna feel like an idiot if I say one. If I get this 50-50 wrong, I'll say Bellinger though.
Nah, it's Pete Alonso. All right. So whose nickname is Boomstick? You have
Boom what?
Boomstick.
Sorry, my internet's going out. Boomstick. All right.
You have Giancarlo Stanton, Chris Davis, Edwin Encarnacion, or Nelson Cruz.
All right, I want everybody to pause the video right now. Go comment below whose nickname is the Boomstick.
Yeah, play this along with us. If you get 100% on the next, take out the Pete Alonso question because we already did that one. If you get 100% on this next one, I'll give you $25. If you comment before the video, or if you comment during the video and you get 100%, I'll give you $25. All right, whose nickname is Boomstick?
They're just gonna cheat.
I know.
It was Encarnacion. Who else?
Stanton.
Yep.
Cruz. Chris Davis. Man,
I'll say I have it down to 2. I think it was Cruz though.
It
No?
is Nelson Cruz.
Okay.
All right.
It was him or Stanton for me.
Whose nickname is the Bringer of Rain?
Me. I'm make it rain.
Don't pull out the money gun on us real quick. So you got Kyle Seager,
Yep.
Nolan Arenado, Josh Donaldson, or Jose Ramirez.
The bringer of rain.
This should be so easy.
What?
Oh my gosh, it'd be so easy.
Who are the first two?
Kyle Seager and Nolan Arenado. Oh my god. Dude, I'm watching you think right now, and this is so painful.
Hold on. The gears are turning. Do you see the smoke coming out of my ears?
I do. Let's see.
Well, now, so I got one right, and now I'm gonna
Okay.
get this one wrong. And then you're gonna laugh. I got
man.
a quarter somewhere. Just kidding. I'll say Nolan Arenado.
Oh man, it's Josh Donaldson. Come on, man.
First,
All
that's who I was gonna go with first, and then I said
This
who were the
one,
first.
if you get this one wrong, I'm gonna be so mad. All right, whose nickname is Mr. Smile?
Give me the options.
Jose Altuve, Francisco Lindor, Didi Gregorius, or Ozzie Albies?
Francisco Lindor.
Okay, I'm glad.
I've heard that one.
All right, we'll see. This one you should get as well. Whose nickname is the Machine? You have Joey Votto. You have Albert Pujols.
You're breaking up a little bit for me. Who are the names again?
Joey Votto, Albert Pujols,
Yep.
Paul Goldschmidt, or Mike Moustakas? I don't even know this one.
I definitely don't know this one, dude.
Stab it.
Repeat them one time.
Joey Votto, Albert Pujols, Paul Goldschmidt, Mike Moustakas. Man.
I mean, I feel like that's definitely like I can rule it down to 3. I'll say who's the third one again? I want to go with the third one.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah. No,
Nah, it's Albert Pujols. Come on, man.
is it really?
Yeah.
That was the guy I ruled out.
Let's see if you can get this one without me giving you the frickin' clues.
Christ, here we
Whose
go.
nickname is Thor? Oh my god.
What's his name?
Oh.
Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah. Who?
It's not. It's Chris Hemsworth too. Oh man, I'm really.
You
on
don't
one
even
today.
know? He's the only.
No idea.
He's the only pitcher with blonde hair. He's on the Mets.
The only pitcher with blonde hair.
On the Mets. Long blonde hair.
You're still breaking up for me, man. I'm sorry. I got some internet problems going on today.
Long blonde hair.
I hope it doesn't reflect on the video, but
Long blonde hair. Let's see. Long blonde hair on the Mets.
on the Mets.
On the Mets. He had Tommy John surgery this year.
Oh, dude, his last name starts with an S, but it's
Yeah,
long.
it does. It does. There you go.
I can't. I don't remember
I'll
his
give
last
you
name.
his first
It's
name.
a long one. It starts with an S.
His first name is Noah.
First name's what?
Noah.
Oh, dude. I know. It's
Let me tell
It's
you.
not. No, hold on. It's not signed something. It's got the. It's like Cinder. Cinder.
Yeah, you just said it.
It was Cinder.
Cinder
no,
what?
But dude, I don't know.
Cinder,
There's some part after that though. It's a long name.
Noah
I know who
Syndergaard.
it is though. Okay. All right. I'm alive. I have a chance.
Okay, so whose nickname is El Mago?
El Mago.
Javier Baez,
Okay.
Carlos Correa.
What does El Mago mean? What does that stand for?
The magician.
I speak pretty good Spanish. I've never heard that one.
Kike Hernandez
Okay.
or Eddie Rosario. Dude, this is so easy, bro. I wish I was answering the questions. I'd be done.
Who are the last two?
Kike Hernandez and Eddie Rosario.
Do I need to know who the last two are?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's Carlos Correa.
No, it's Javier Baez, you idiot. All right, last, there's 3 more.
All right, I'm gonna do one of them, and then the other one we can just ask the chat.
All right, so whose nickname is Wild Horse?
Dude, I've never heard that in my life.
Yasiel Puig, Bryce Harper, Will Myers, or Ketel Marte?
The horse?
Wild Horse.
Wild horse.
Yeah, Wild Horse.
I can't even remember any of the names you just said because I can only hear like first and last names, like part of each.
Puig.
Who was it?
Harper.
Yasiel. Bryce.
Will Myers.
Yep.
Ketel Marte.
Wild horse?
Come on, bro. This is.
There's no way that Bryce Harper's nickname is Wild Horse. I've never heard it before. There's no way. It's got to be Puig or Marte.
You pick.
I'm going to say Puig.
All right, you got that one right. All
Okay.
right, last 2 I'm going to give to the chat. Whose nickname is Simba? There's the options on the screen. Comment down below your answers. And then whose nickname is Joey Bats?
Those are for the chat?
Yeah, so comment down below the answers for a chance to win an excellent, amazing prize that you won't want to miss. And yeah, that'll conclude episode 6 of the Stars and Scrubs podcast. Hope you guys all enjoyed. We will have an episode out on Wednesday as well, doing some other cool stuff. Hopefully Walker gets his internet unthrottled, which would be super dope. And
I feel like I just got put on trial.
I did just put you on trial. But
I feel like I just got interrogated.
well, I mean, what did you get out of?
Dude, I'm
out
sweating.
Of 10, you got 1, 2, 3. I
got them all right.
You got
I'm a
4
genius.
out of 8. You got a 50%, which is an F. So obviously Walker's MLB knowledge needs some brushing up on. But that's going to conclude episode 6. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And if, like I said, comment down below some of the answers of that trivia for a chance to win a super dope prize. Yeah, stay safe out there, and we'll see you for episode 7 on Wednesday. Peace.